Time is now 6:31. We'll call this Monday, August 25th meeting, the Winton Woods City School Board to order. Mrs. Seymour, can you call the roll?
Dr. Johnson, Mrs. Knighton,
Present.
Mr. Spielman,
Present.
Ms. Bryant,
Present.
Mr. Smith.
Present. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Now moving on to 2.01, District Honors, Recognitions, Gifts, and Introductions. Superintendent Denny, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, President Smith. Good evening, board, and good evening, everyone. It's great to see you all, and we'll dive right in. We do have a couple recognitions or honors this evening, and so we're excited about that. Always look forward to this at every meeting. So without too much further ado, let's go ahead and start with the first recognition for the district this evening. It is for one of our very welcomed foreign exchange students, a student attending Winton Woods High School this year from the nation of Japan. And we'd love to invite Taishin Aiki and his host family to come forward. And we'd love to give you a warm round of applause.
Just get a picture. I thought maybe he'll run around there and do that.
I know. Don't you like it? I didn't know.
They're long to enjoy some good food. Hopefully he cooks.
Thank you all for being here. And again, Taishin, welcome to Winton Woods City Schools and welcome to our fine city. It's great to have you here. All right. The next recognition this evening is the State Board of Education District 4 Teacher of the Year recognition. Also the PAE MST State Finalist recognition. And we love acronyms in education, as you all know, probably as much as the military, if not more. But that acronym stands for the Presidential Award for Excellence in Mathematics and Science Teaching. And so we have with us this evening one of our very own Winton Woods High School teachers. And the board wishes to extend its sincere congratulations to this teacher on being selected as a 2026 State Board of Education, that's SBOE, another acronym, District 4 Teacher of the Year finalist. This teacher is one of 11 finalists for the State of Ohio Teacher of the Year Award. And he was also named one of the 3 Ohio finalists for the Elite Presidential Awards for Excellence in Math and Science Teaching. And there's a 2-part award here this evening. So we'll start first with the district level acknowledgement. And this award, we're very excited to announce, goes to Mr. Josh Obstutz. Photo op.
See, that's what you get.
And Mr. A, did you bring anyone with you? Just go ahead and stay here. Stay here. Yeah. Did you bring anyone else with you this evening? Okay. Flying solo.
children?
All right.
Wife of the year and has all the
That is an excellent answer, sir. Well, thank.
Film, right?
Yeah. Well, thanks for all you do. We're glad you're here. So, all right, at this time, if you'd hang out here for this just for a little bit, we actually have a special presentation this evening, and we're thrilled that Representative Brownlee's here. So if you would go ahead and come on up, and we understand you have a presentation, so the floor is yours.
It's brief. Well, thank you so much for having me, and thank you. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I promise I'm going to get to you just so I can say so much good stuff. So hi, everybody. I'm State Representative Karen Brown. Oh, is that great? I promise I'll be brief. I'm State Representative Karen Brownlee. I'm the new state representative for the Great 28, which includes Deer Park, Princeton, Sycamore, and parts of Loveland and Winton Woods school districts. I'm so honored to be here because my background as a mental health therapist is with children and families, mostly in school settings. So very comfortable in schools, and I love what you guys do. More importantly, I am the proud graduate of public schools. My kids are the proud graduates of public schools, and I will continue to fight for public school staff, parents, and students in our district and across Ohio for all of the amazing stuff that you do. And I'm going to get to the amazing stuff that you've done, Mr. Amstutz, for your award as Teacher of the Year for Region 4. My understanding, and whoever I've asked about it, and I have this very fancy commendation, but I'm going to just speak about, what I've heard, is that Mr. Amstutz is beloved by parents, administration, and students alike due to his dedication to and trailblazing with project-based learning for Winton Woods, which that's quite a feat because I know bringing something new into a school is it's hard to make change, right? Your accomplishments are many, leading the Academy of Global Studies to win several awards, including the 2024 Global Beacon of Educational Transformation Award. Your awards are very long. And the Winton Woods High School getting recognized as School of the Year for 2025 by the World Affairs Council for Greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky. That is really amazing, but not only did you bring a lot of awards to the school, you are dedicated to the craft of teaching, you've demonstrated exceptional leadership skills, and more importantly, you are a caring person. And when I asked a few families about what makes this teacher so special, their responses, both the parents and students alike, were, "We just love Mr. Amstutz." Mr. A is what they really called you. So it's a great privilege for me to present this commendation from the State House to Mr. A and to celebrate him along with the rest of the Winton Woods community. Congratulations.
Brandon, can't move.
Special thanks to Representative Brownlee for being here with us this evening and sharing in this. We really appreciate it. So thank you for your continued investment in public education and recognizing the great things going on here in Winton Woods. Mr. A, thank you. Thanks for what you do every day with kids. It makes a huge difference. It matters, and we just appreciate you and celebrate you tonight.
100%.
Board, that concludes the district honors recognitions, gifts, and introductions for this evening. Back to you, President Smith.
Thank you, Superintendent Denny. Once again, congratulations. We're very happy to have you here amongst the Warrior family. We take great pride in all the things that you're doing for us here and representing us very well. So thank you very, very much. Moving on, Vice President, you wanted to say something.
I really
felt
did want to say something.
Go right ahead.
I just want to say, having a child that is a product of learning from Mr. A, thank you for what you do. Seriously, she is a graduate of AGS, so and absolutely loved it and had some really great experiences through it. So keep doing what you do. We definitely appreciate you. Yes.
I'm waiting for the speech. Where's your speech, Mr. A? Come on, say it.
I always have a speech prepared.
Say some words. Go for it.
Absolutely. I do want to say, seriously, I am a very sensitive, emotional person. That's just part of who I am. Having 5 daughters is probably the biggest blessing because I can connect with them in so many different ways. But I just want to thank the district because I have been to many different countries on many different fellowships, representing our district, representing our community, representing our students, and everyone, when I talk about Winton Woods, is so surprised that there's a district that's as supportive as this one, to be able to promote global education, cultural awareness, and be able to do truly what's best for our community and be able to help bring up all the amazing diversity that we have and make it shine in a world when it needs to shine. So just thank you, Winton Woods, for everything you do, and honestly, I am truly a product of this district. I've been here 14 years. I plan on being here another 20 some more until 40 years when I can retire. And I just can't wait to see what we do because I'm not even halfway done. So I appreciate the district for all their support and just encouragement because it truly means a lot. It really does. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to 3.01. Mr. Seymour, do we have any public comments?
No.
Mrs. Bryan, you were saying something earlier?
Yes, I wasn't sure. We have Dr. Rosalind Moore from the City of Forest Park, who's also our liaison from the city, and I didn't know. She came in, I don't think she was able to fill out a form if she wanted to say anything. Oh, please.
Who is it? I'll let you write it down.
Good evening, Warrior family. Superintendent Mr. Denny, Board President Mr. Smith, and board members. I'm Dr. Rosalind Moore, and I'm the second Vice Mayor here of the City of Forest Park, and I serve as Council Liaison for the Winton Woods School District. I'm here today to welcome the staff and students and our Warrior families back to school. I'm also here to express how excited we are for the City of Forest Park to support the new Boys and Girls Club initiative. In 2023, I wrote a grant funded by Interact for Health for $200,000 for community engagement, and the fund was Project Reach Initiative. It stands for resiliency, education, engagement, advocacy, communication, community, and health. I also want to thank Board Member Bryant for helping me proofread that project before I submitted it. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge your Winton Woods team. Dr. Adrian Martin, Board Member Deborah Bryant, Dr. Ragland, and our Forest Park staff, Crystal Kendricks. We met 2 years ago in a roundtable to discuss how we can partner and collaborate the district and the City of Forest Park. As a result of that partnership and collaboration, $75,000 of the Project Reach funding was granted and gifted to the Winton Woods School District for their Boys and Girls Club to support our youth. I also want to acknowledge Board Member Deborah Bryant for her service to this community. She and I, over the past 25 years, have advocated, received, raised over $2.5 million in federal grants, local grants, and fundraising through ReThrive events to improve the quality of life for our community. So, in closing, to our students and our family, our community is working hard to support your success and have an amazing school year. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If there are no more comments, we will take a brief recess, no longer than 5 minutes. Thank you. All right, I'll call us back to order, and we'll go to 5.01, Winton Woods Teachers Association, WWTA. Do we have a representative here today? Seeing no representative, let's go to 5.02, Ohio Association of Public School Employees, OPSE. Do we have a representative here today? Seeing no representative, we'll move on to 6.01. It will be the waiving of the reading of the minutes. Board, a motion is in order.
Mr. President, I'd like to move that we waive the reading of the minutes for the following meetings: the regular meeting July 28th, 2025, and the regular meeting August 1st, 2025.
Can I get a second?
I'll second, but it's August 11th, just a minor correction.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. It's been motioned and seconded. Board, is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, can you call the vote?
Ms. Knighton?
Aye.
Mr. Spielman?
Aye.
Ms. Bryant?
I approved the 7/28 regular meeting, but I was absent for the August 11th meeting.
So you're abstaining?
Abstaining from August 11th meeting. Thank you.
Mr. Smith?
Aye. That vote passes. Thank you very much, Board. Let's move on to the approval of the minutes as presented. Board, a motion is in order.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Board, is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, can you call the vote?
Mrs. Knighton?
Aye.
Mr. Spielman?
I was absent from the July 28th meeting, so abstain on that, but I vote yes on the August 11th meeting.
You're abstaining from July 28th?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Bryant?
I on July 28th, and I was absent for the August 11th meeting.
Mr. Smith?
Aye. That vote passes. Thank you very much, Board. Next on the agenda is the Treasurer Report 7.01, the financial statements for July 2025. Mr. Seymour, you have the floor.
Yes, Board, before you have the report for the month of July. Our total year-to-date revenues are at $12.4 million in the general fund. Our month-to-date revenues consisted mostly of 2.7. Our year-to-date was 12.4, my apologies. Our year-to-date was approximately 2.7 in real estate foundation, 9.5 in real estate tax collections, for a total year-to-date of 12.4. My apologies again. Also, on our year-to-date expenditures, we're at 4.7 million. And during the month of July, we committed approximately $12 million in district contracts. On the final page of your report, you have the unencumbered balance of all funds as of July 31st of approximately $23.6 million.
Thank you, Mr. Seymour. Now let the financial statements be presented and filed for audit. Let's move on to the agenda in 8.01, investment reports for July 2025. Mr. Seymour, you have the floor.
Yes, for the month of July, we had $41 million invested, of which we earned $144,103 in interest. Of that, the general fund was $129,315, and our building funds were $14,788.
Thank you, Mr. Seymour. Board, a motion is in order.
I'll make a motion to approve the investment report as presented.
I'll second the motion.
It's been motioned and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, will you call the vote?
Mrs. Knighton?
Aye.
Mr. Spielman?
Aye.
Ms. Bryant?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye. That vote passes. Thank you, Board. Let's move on to 8.02, resolution appropriations for fiscal year 2025-2026. Mr. Seymour, you have the floor.
Yes, before you adopt the resolution, I'll be brief and do a quick report on the appropriations resolution, if that's all right.
Thank you.
Our total appropriations for all funds for the coming year are at $86,937,196.16. Of that, most of that, of course, is the general fund of $70,267,300. Next in line are our special revenue funds at $5.5 million. Our debt service fund at $3.269 million, and then all other funds at $3,849,000. So of our total appropriations, the general fund, of course, is at 80%, which is the fund which the district has the most discretion on spending. As you know, most of the other funds are specific purposes and designed for state and federal reasons or local reasons. Some of our major special revenue funds are auxiliary services, which is our private school of $385,000. IDEA, special education, $1.4 million. Title I, approximately $1.5 million. And then your most recent, your comprehensive literacy grant is a 3-year grant, but for this year, it was $577,000. And as you recall, Mr. Senker went over all the federal revenues with you at the July meeting. My apologies. Some of the other special revenue major funds are our debt service fund at $3.2 million. Permanent improvement, approximately $1.1 million. Our building funds still have funds left in them at $2.9 million. And of course, food service at $3.6 million. Our total estimated revenues in the general fund, as you can see from the chart, almost all of our almost 90-some% of our funds come from local taxes or state foundation. Currently, state foundation is representing almost 50% of our revenue for the coming year and has fallen behind local taxes, ahead of local taxes now, where we used to be mostly a higher percentage in local taxes. Fair share funding has pushed state support up above the real estate tax collections. And some of the other areas are investments, other local income, and other state and federal. In our receipts, we have our property taxes at $25.7 million, and our state share of real estate taxes, which is what the state requires us to call homestead and rollback now. They want us to recognize that the state pays for those receipts through the state at $2.7 million. We have interest income at $1.3 million, other local receipts at $1.62 million. Our state foundation is up to $31.7 million, and then other state and federal at $1.48 million. This is our total district evaluation, and as you can see, in 21, we had a reappraisal where we went from 465 million to 540, and then as you all recall, in 24, we had the large reappraisal that came into across the state and into Hamilton County, and we went from 564 million to 760. Our total district evaluation is now 763,171,000. Our voted millage is currently at 89.79 mils. Our effective millage for residential is at 38.23. So you can see through reappraisal how the effective millage has rolled back the voted millage in the district. Our general fund is at 32.86 of those mills. Permanent improvement is 1.06 of those mills, and our bond retirement is now 4.31 mills, and when it was originally passed, it was 6.95. So you can see that reappraisal does roll back the effective millage. So again, our total real estate tax collections for the year are at $25.7 million. And our state share of real estate taxes, which is homestead, rollback, and exemption, will be at $2.7 million. State funding, we have unrestricted and restricted. So for the state unrestricted funding for the coming year, we have approximately $23.5 million. For disadvantaged pupil impact aid, $3.2 million, gifted, $157,000, English learner, $705,000, student wellness and success, $785,000, career and technical, $38,800, transportation, $1.9 million, special ed transportation, $912,000, and preschool, $491,000. The unrestricted portion is the only portion which we're not required to spend on a specific purpose. As you know, DPIA has required expenditures which you have to spend on gifted, English learner, wellness and success, and all the others are targeted just for the purpose of which the funds come in. Based on the data currently submitted to ODE and Workforce for fiscal year '24 is what our state funding is based on. There was no update to the state average cost per pupil. There was, in the original funding formula, there would have been an average cost update in the current biennium, and it was estimated to be 4%, but we lost that update. There was no update to the average cost per pupil across the state. And for the Winton Woods, that meant approximately $700,000 less than we would have gotten under the total fair share funding formula. The current year for '26, we're at 83.33% of the funding formula, and it'll be totally phased in for 2027. I don't anticipate any change in the cost update for 2 years. We'll see what happens in the next funding formula. Other local receipts are tuition of almost 1.2 million, rental of facilities at 55,000, transportation fees 110,000, in lieu of taxes 100,000. In lieu of taxes are proceeds the district receives for TIF agreements that we bill out to the various entities that have TIF projects, and then other local receipts of 170,000. Other state and federal, we have Medicaid reimbursement of approximately 500,000, catastrophic aid, or they now refer to it as threshold, of 370,000. E-rate varies all over, estimated at 190,000. Our casino proceeds at 270,000, and we still have one reimbursement left from the Science of Reading, which was for our last payment at the end of the fiscal year, which would come in this fiscal year. Our total appropriations for the coming year, salaries are at 37.1 million, benefits at 13.5 million, purchase services 15 million, supplies and materials 3.1 million, capital outlay 160,000, and total other expenditures at almost 900,000. For fiscal year '25, just to share with you, we appropriated 64.3 million, but our actual expenditures ended up at 61.8 million, with an appropriated savings of approximately 2.5 million, or a budget savings of 3.9%. And we did increase our operating balance by 1.1 million last year. Here I'm just sharing with you the total expenditures by salaries and benefits, capital outlay, purchase services and supplies, and other expenditures. As you can see, salaries and benefits and purchase services pretty much drives the expenditures of the district. Our salaries and benefits are approximately 70-some% of our total budget. In the salaries and benefits, we have the negotiated salary adjustments. All staffing reallocations are included. Healthcare is projected at 10% increase, and dental insurance is projected at 10% increase. And if I could share with you where we're at, we had approximately a 12% increase projected for our healthcare program, and we met with both WWTA and OPSI, and they negotiated plan design changes to bring that 12% down to 10%. So they agreed to take higher co-pays and change some of their design plan to reduce those costs down to 10%.
Okay.
So basically, how are the dollars all totally spent on instruction? That's direct classroom and student support, 71%, or 0.5 million. Operations, which is administration, operation of plant, maintenance, utilities, transportation, all those expenses not directly in the classroom, 27% or 19 million, and our extracurricular activities at almost 1.2 million or 2%. So with a beginning cash balance of 19.9, total receipts of 64.4, an estimated budget of 69.9, our projected cash balance to be 14.4 million. And as I shared with you from the prior year, I would anticipate some savings on that budget as we've always experienced in prior years. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them.
Thank you, Mrs. Seymour. Board, a motion is in order.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the permanent appropriations for fiscal year 2025-2026 as presented.
I need a second.
I'll second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Just two questions. You brought up the $700,000 less. Is that from the projected, or is that based on what we got last year?
That would have been our potential with full fair share funding formula without modifications by House Bill 96,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
It does. And not being an accountant, there are a lot of numbers here. So I came in and met with you, and you answered all my questions. And so thank you.
You're welcome.
I do have a question on that. So we had, on slide 13, there was a thing of rental of facilities. Can you explain that a little bit more?
We rent out our facilities and we charge for those.
So that was income coming in, correct?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
I just want to make sure I was clear
No,
and the
it's not
public was
us
clear.
paying out.
Yes, perfect.
It's when we rent out our facilities to outside organizations.
Perfect.
Anyone else have any questions? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, can you call for the vote?
Mrs. Knighton?
Aye.
Mr. Spielman?
Aye.
Ms. Bryant?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye. That vote passes. Thank you very much, Board. Thank you, Mrs. Seymour. Thank you to the Treasurer's Office.
Thank you.
Let's move on to 9.01, School Reports. Superintendent Denny, you have the floor.
Thanks again, President Smith, and good evening again, Board. So looking at 9.01 School Reports, Board, you should have before you a report of upcoming school events from today's date until the date of the next board meeting on September 22nd. We have quite a few different sporting events going on, some things that we would love to have the community, families, and people come out to see. Girls volleyball, girls soccer, both home tomorrow against Walnut Hills and Turpin, respectively. And I did want to briefly touch on this high school artist reaching classrooms event. This is a program that Miss Becky Youngs has sponsored for almost 20 years, but it actually brings in a local professor from Northern Kentucky University to help out students who are aspiring artists and interested in art to basically work on their projects and work on their craft. So it's a great collaborative venture with advanced AP, gifted, talented art, and other students who are some of our finest, most talented artists. So just really excited about that. That takes place this Wednesday. So you have that also, Board, on the agenda for this week. Labor Day coming up this holiday weekend, so no school next Monday. And then, of course, we see on Saturday, September 6th, there is a ACT testing opportunities. We want to make sure we draw attention to that. Board, the first PTA meeting of the year is Thursday, September 11th, and it's at the Forest Park Library, so great venue for that. And I would just encourage everybody to come out to that event and watch the PTA do some of the great things and plan some of the great things they have for our students. Finally, Board, midterms, midway through first quarter is coming up September 16th. Want to make sure we're aware of that, so that is tied to grades and academics, as is senior credit check night on Thursday, September 18th, and also the third grade guarantee informational parent meeting the same evening. So just a lot of things going on, a lot of great sporting events, a lot of great activities, and just wanted to draw attention to some of those upcoming events.
Thank you, Superintendent Denny. We're going to move on to 9.02, Student Achievement Report. Superintendent Denny, you have the floor.
Thank you again, Mr. Smith. This evening's Student Achievement Report, or the Student Achievement Report for this month, is a follow-up on summer school, and just to report out on those activities. And to present the summer school update, we'll be joined by Dr. Adrian Martin, Executive Director of Teaching and Learning for grades preschool through 6th grade, and also Dr. Tamara Ragland, Executive Director of Teaching and Learning for grades 7-12.
Good evening, everyone. We'll start with the elementary portion of the school report. The summer session actually started June 2nd through June 26th. We'll be going over K-5, the new grade 6 RISE program, which this is the first summer for that, middle school and high school. The K-5 structure this summer was similar to last year. Teachers were arriving 8 to 12. Students were arriving 8:30 to 12 as well. We did have 4 days a week as we did in the past. June 2nd, June 9th, the week of June 16th. In that week, that was a short week because there was only 3 days due to Juneteenth. June 24th, Monday through Thursday. And our summer testing for 3rd grade students, we did summer MAP testing June 24th. We did summer testing with the Ohio State Reading Assessment June 25th and 26th. The RISE program was actually housed at the North Campus. The RISE program was the brainchild of Ms. Deneen Fields, who's the intermediate principal, in collaboration with Mr. Dixon. Kind of wanted to give the students the opportunity to have that experience before the real work started in the summer, to get on campus, get in the rooms, get a feel of the building. So it was almost like the bridge program that we used to have for kindergarten, but that was the biggest transition from 6th grade to 7th grade. So trying to give them that experience and exposure was very key for them to be successful. The goal behind the RISE program, it was designed to reach students, to get them to reach higher heights, inspire a love for learning, strengthen essential skills, and excel academically and personally. When we think of our students transitioning from one building to the next, we have to make sure that we give them the tools that they need to be successful, and we need to make sure that we are intentional when we're doing so. So when we all sat down to actually come up with, what does this program look like? Because it does bridge the gap between the elementary and the secondary. We came up with the RISE as meaning, when we think of RISE for our students, we're trying to make sure that they reach, inspire, they're strengthened, and they excel. So, and I do believe Dr. Ragland actually came up with that acronym, and we kind of sat around the table and came up with what RISE could mean in Winton Woods. So we're excited. We hope to actually expand that program so that more 6th grade students transitioning to 7th grade will have an opportunity to experience this as well. The K-5 schedule is as follows. The students were able to receive breakfast. We had phonics, word of the day, read alouds. We did have MAP test practice. There was a little recess, not long, state test practice, lunch, and then dismissal. For the 6th grade campus, what that administrative staff tried to do is give them an experience of how schedules look at the secondary level. So it wasn't the same as what they were used to at the South Campus. It was a lot of transitions and trying to get them acclimated to the building, the expectations, the culture, the designs, and as well as the academic focus. For the elementary total enrollment, for kindergarten, 19 students were invited, 10 attended. First grade, 21 invited, 17 attended. For second grade, 20 students were invited, 15 came on a consistent basis. For third grade, 97 students were invited. 62 students came on a consistent basis. For fourth grade, there were 43 students invited. 16 students came on a regular basis. And for fifth grade students, we had 17 invited. 8 students came on a regular basis. For the RISE program, 25 students were invited. 23 students came on a regular basis. With the elementary assessment for third grade reading guarantee, we did administer another opportunity for the students to take the NWEA MAP assessment. 61 students tested, 7 students passed on that assessment. So on that day, 7 of the students that were in attendance passed that assessment and therefore were proficient as it relates to the third grade reading guarantee. Now, if they did pass that assessment on the 24th, which is the last week, they didn't have to attend the next 2 sessions because those were OST sessions for summer school. So for the OST, for the 25th and the 26th, 56 students were tested, 7 students passed that assessment. So there was a total of 14 students that actually received a proficient score on either of the 2 assessments. With the NWEA MAP, 196 was the score to reach. On the OST, it was a 700 proficient or a 50 on the sub-score. And this next slide just kind of goes over what NWE MAP assesses. It's an assessment tool used to measure achievement and growth in math and reading. It actually provides teachers with accurate, actionable evidence to help them inform instructional strategies regardless of how far students are above or below grade level. For the South Campus summer meals that were served, we had 1,015 for breakfast and 1,597 for lunch.
And so now we will talk about secondary. Secondary had a similar summer school structure, the same weeks, June 2nd, June 9th, 4 days a week. The week of June 16th, we had 3 days due to Juneteenth, the holiday, as well as the week of June 23rd, another 4-day week for a total of 15 days. We had 8 to 12 being the time for teachers, 8:30 to 11:30 was the time for students, and we had summer ELC testing on June the 24th. Our secondary schedule was that students arrived around 8:15 or so. They got the grab-and-go breakfast, and then class time was 8:30 to 11:10. They had lunch between 11:10, 11:25, and then there was dismissal at 11:30. So for the middle school, we had an EL 4-week session where there were 16 newcomer English language learners. We had an ELA session 1 and 2 for a total of 30 students, a math session 1 and 2 for a total of 18 students. The number of students who completed the EL 4-week program, there were 16. There was a daily attendance rate of 88%, an average of 2 absent daily. For the ELA and math sessions, we had 48 students who completed their academic coursework, 44 of which were promoted to the next grade, 4 were assigned to the next grade with a 92% success rate. For high school, we served 147 total students, 90 of which were general credit recovery, 47 were Algebra 1, and 10 were considered ELL or at-risk students. Of those 147 students, 137 received at least one credit, for a total of 372 semesters, which were the equivalent of 186 credits recovered in the general credit recovery and algebra. There were an average of 3 courses completed per student. All of our at-risk ELL students completed at least 3 courses, and some are now eligible for early graduation. So we had 18 assessments given during our end-of-course administration. In June, we served breakfast at the high school, 171 meals. The middle school served 223 for a total of 436. For a high school lunch, it was 223 meals. Middle school served 491 meals for a total of 646 meals for lunch. And now, finally, we're at recommendations. So I'll let Dr. Martin present elementary.
Okay, for elementary, one of the recommendations is to utilize Hamilton County ESC and their Orton-Gillingham program. What we also have done in this vein is to write within the scope of the grant opportunities for our teachers, our own staff, to actually get this training over the course of the grant work. Last summer, Hamilton County was able to actually have a set of teachers here to give additional support in reading to our students. Those teachers weren't necessarily our teachers, but those were teachers that were in the program at Hamilton County, and it was definitely well received. The goal is to try to build that up again, and if it can't be that it's just all of Hamilton County's teachers, it's some of our teachers. So we know, our teachers are in front of our students. So that is one of the recommendations, which was similar to the recommendation for last year. The next recommendation is to reconsider opportunities for summer school expansion. The state is coming down with a math improvement plan for the district. Most of summer school was focusing on reading and literacy. The intent for next school year is to possibly have an opportunity where we're intentionally saying we're supporting reading and math in summer session. We did have one summer session of 5th grade that did do math, and that was a teacher just kind of wanting to be a part of the summer learning and trying to give the students the skills they needed to be successful in math going to the 6th grade. So, but I think it's imperative that we actually be intentional with it, considering we have to, as a district, do a math improvement plan, and that's just coming down from ODU in one of the House bills.
Similarly, for secondary, we want to revisit the conversation amount of time for instruction for next year and reconsider opportunities for summer school expansion. So for the middle school, we had 6th grade attend the middle school. So there were about 25 6th graders. We're looking to expand on that in terms of the number. So it was considered anecdotally a successful program. However, I've asked Mr. Dixon for more hard data, and one of the things that we realize now is that there could have been and probably should have been a survey to those children before they exited the RISE program to get a feel for what kind of impact that program had on them. So those students were, they had a mixture of intermediate school teachers who were there as well as middle school teachers. They received instruction in project-based learning. They were introduced to ECHO, of course, given tours of the building, and they were also assigned a buddy. So they were assigned a rising 7th grader who was their partner during that school experience, and that served to carry those students through to the beginning of the school year, because now they have an assigned person that they could ask questions. And so one of the things that is going to happen next week is that there's going to be a survey of those students. Now that they've started the school year, how do those students feel in terms of being acclimated? And so we realized that we missed that first opportunity, but we're going to capture this next opportunity because we're still at the beginning of the school year to get a feel for how do they feel now, having had that transition, as opposed to students who didn't have that opportunity, and then next year looking to expand and bring more sixth graders to the middle school.
Are there any questions?
I got questions. First of all, thank you both for your presentation and presenting this data. My first question is about the third grade reading, and I know, Bill, I'm looking at you because this is normally your jam with the third graders and reading. Recognizing that there were 47 students that weren't successful, what are our strategies during this school year? Because honestly, that's a little alarming. I understand we want to focus on both reading and math. You can't separate them, but we have to make sure that our third graders are meeting the mark and that they're able to read so they can do math, right? So what do you think is one of the best strategies outside of summer school to make sure that these 47 students that weren't successful can become proficient in reading and meet the state standards?
Yes, one of the main and essential strategies that we actually employed last year is to adopt a high-quality instructional materials for reading for elementary, for not just third grade, but K-6, so that we actually are aligning ourselves with the state so they can actually have an approved piece of instructional resource where the teacher is presenting, the students are actually learning what they need to learn according to the state, and the material that we adopted was from that approved list. So I think that's the tier 1 instruction that we needed to strengthen. When we presented that information or the report card last year, that was one of the key things that we knew that we needed to do and employ so that we can have a play on a level playing ground with our students being able to have the skills needed to be successful. So I think now that we do have that in place, along with ongoing professional learning for the adults that are teaching the materials, I think we're positioning ourselves to provide a more structured opportunity for our students to learn and grow.
Thank you for that. Yeah, thank you, and looking forward to seeing
If
the
I
data
might,
as well.
sorry, Ms. Bryant.
Yes, no, you're good.
Could you talk a little bit about the MTSS process, the multi-tiered systems of support, and how those 47 students will go on to fourth grade, but will also continue to be identified, screened, and receive services?
Yeah, those students actually have a reading improvement plan. And with the reading improvement plan, there are pieces that we have to support in the classroom, outside of the classroom, and we do have a strong MTSS plan that's totally complete and in place, and with decision rules so that the adults are able to provide interventions, track the interventions, and be able to kind of see if that intervention is working, and if it's not working, they can pivot and provide additional support. But all of even MTSS could not have been done without that tier 1 solid instruction in the classroom. So we do have a variety of interventions that we have purchased and teachers have had professional learning on. One is Spire, one is UFly, and we also have Savis Success Maker as well. So we have systems in place to try to intervene accordingly and intentionally for our students. The other piece that we do have with the MTSS is the dashboard. I do believe Mike Eckert presented that to you guys a month or so ago, but that dashboard is going to help us track all of the supports that we've provided to students to actually see how long have we provided them and do they really work? What do we need to do as the adults to make sure that when we facilitate learning for students, that we're really providing them what they need? And monitoring that progress is huge. So in the whole scope of the tiered pieces of support, if it's not monitored, it's not going to necessarily yield the greatest return that we wanted to do.
And I would like to add that attendance plays a large part in that You know, we are working on our attendance and improving it, that we do have a dashboard that will also monitor attendance. We have an attendance, help me out, Mr. Diddy.
Task force.
Task force, thank you. That is going to be taking a hard look at our practices around attendance in terms of trying to curb our chronic absenteeism. I mean, when students are absent, they simply miss out. And so if you're not here, you know, and depending on the amount of time you miss, intervention is not as effective as if you are present every single day.
Appreciate that, thank you. Just someone else have a-
Dr. Martin,
Right.
you,
Of course, I have
you
more
just mentioned with the tier 2 or 3 intervention that there's 3 curriculums or 3 programs that they can use. Is that up to the intervention specialist, which one, or does it depend on how the kids test?
For the Success Maker through Savas, that is tier 1, so that intervention can be done with the classroom teacher inside the class. It can be small group. The whole thing about providing intervention is to making sure that you have the time. You can't miss your core instruction, but you also need additional support to kind of build that level of understanding in the core. So for small group opportunities in the classroom, that's Savas Success Maker. We also have Spire. Spire would be the ESL and the intervention specialist as well. And UFly, all teachers will have that as well.
And the one you were just talking about is the curriculum that we're using for the science of reading, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we're not only using the curriculum, but we're using the tier 2 intervention for that curriculum.
Yes. And what the state actually did, they developed a list for high-quality instructional materials for core and high-quality instructional materials for interventions.
Okay.
So what we did is make sure that our interventions and our core were both from that list. Where we kind of stood on top is to be able to have a core curriculum that was approved, as well as the same company's intervention piece, and that's huge.
Yeah. You mentioned up here Orton Gillingham. Would that just be for the summer school program then?
No, the goal is to try to get as many of our, well, not as many, I don't want to break the bank. At least, I do believe it's 15 teachers trained through the scope of the grant. If we go through track 2, if we go through track 1, we may be able to get 18 teachers trained so that we can intervene early. Because if we can get a lot of our primary teachers trained in that skill set, that will definitely yield a greater return for us as they transition from this building to the South Campus and South Campus to North Campus.
Okay. And one final question. You talked about the number of students in each grade 1 through 6 that were invited, the number of kids that attended. What determined I'm assuming whether you pass or fail reading determined whether you were invited?
Well, the invitation that went out for each of the grade levels, those are students that were on the reading achievement plan. So the teachers were to give the principals a list of, depending on what grade, we did 2 sessions for each grade level, 4 sessions for 3rd grade.
Okay.
So there would have been roughly 40 students that received the invitation, and maybe out of the 40 students, only maybe 25 actually came. So that's I guess when I say invitation, that's who accepted the invitation.
Right, but the ones that were invited, that was based on?
The reading achievement plan. And when they're on the reading achievement plan, you have to give as many opportunities to intervene as possible. And the summer session was another opportunity for the district to kind of interact with and interface with those students and give them an opportunity to also take the assessment again as well.
So when parents don't take advantage of that, do we know why? Because if they're not scoring at that level, but they don't want to have their child participate in a summer school program to help them, it seems like a no-brainer. But it obviously isn't a no-brainer, otherwise.
Right. Well, I think once they relax the requirement for retention with third grade reading, I think we saw the numbers go down. At one point, years ago, if students did not hit the proficient mark as a third grade student, then they were retained in third grade, as long as they had never been retained prior to going to third grade. Now, the law is a little different. It's just one of those where you provide levels of support, and the parent can decide that they just want the student to be placed in fourth grade.
So these 97 that got invited, by the end of summer school, only 14 passed as proficient. The rest of them are going to fourth grade anyway.
Yes, they are going to fourth grade with support, but they are going to fourth grade.
Yeah,
It's about 300 students in that class, just for comparison of total group number.
Still, that's a large number.
it is.
Agreed.
My other question, not to belabor, is about the RISE program. I know that you mentioned there wasn't a lot of hard data. Would it be possible at some point to get that? Just like who was invited, the number of kids that attended per, I know that you got the number of kids, but just more information. What do they do? Was there a curriculum that was mapped during this time that they were there, other than just the tours, those kind of things?
So there was, it was teacher created because this is the first year. We've never done this before.
I know, yeah.
And so we had teachers, we gave them 8 hours of planning time. We paid them to be able to create the curriculum for this event because it was several weeks long. And so they actually created a project. So when the students came to the middle school, they rolled out their experiences in the form of a project. And so, yes, I can give you more information about that. Again, we have the number of students. I'm not sure how they were invited, I believe, because they were coming from IS. Do you know how they were invited?
I'm not totally sure how Ms. Fields decided who was going to attend this program, but the goal was to get the students acclimated. So I think the number was small, considering how many students are transitioning from 6th to 7th grade, but we had to also look at the staffing, the budget, and everything else, because this was something new, which would have taken some of the 6th grade teachers that would have done either 5th or 6th grade to go to the middle school with the middle school staff so they can kind of get that structure as well. So I think for the most part, considering this was the first year for it, I think it was successful when in the vein of the students were excited to be there, and looking at some of the attendance data, some of the students actually tested out of one of the programs a little earlier. So they had a very strong structure and foundation of how they wanted to interact with the students.
And
there
will be
I was curious too, how they were identified to be a part of that, or how they were identified.
but there will be a survey. It'll be given next week to those.
And just for next year, if we can, thank you for that. I mean, I remember being nervous going from 6th to 7th grade. That's a weird thing. High school, but something about that 6th to 7th grade transition. So I'm glad that Ms. Field recognized that for next year, if we can get the data and just have all that. It looks like the students came. I mean, most of them came consistently, so that's a big yoo-hoo.
Yes.
So,
And Ms. Fields, to her credit, she insisted that the 6th graders have the opportunity to go to the middle school. She thought they would be more excited because that's the building they're going to be attending, and so that it would increase the attendance if they were actually going to that building rather than coming back to their old building.
That's good.
So it was very intentionally designed.
Thank you.
And it was designed as a hybrid too. It's half acclimation and understanding your new life as a middle school student, because that's the biggest single transition in our district now. You know, from going from 6 to 7 is the big shift from South Campus to North Campus. But the other half was still working on academic skills and things that would help strengthen, students' reading and academic background as they transition to 7th grade.
Great, thank you. Thanks, guys.
I have one final question, if you don't mind. On on the high school side, there's a slide in there that says that there were 18 assessments given, but it doesn't say how the students did with them. I was just curious.
I'm not aware, but I can check on the student
Okay.
data and give that to Mr. Denny, and he can
Sure.
forward that to you.
Thank you.
We should be able to have that at next work session, I would guess, by the 8th.
That's fine. I'm just
That's fine.
curious how they,
Yeah.
All right.
how they did on them.
Yep. All right.
Thank you.
We can work on that. Any more questions, board?
Done.
Thank you
Thank
both
you.
so much.
Thank you for the
Thank you.
presentation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your time. All right, board, let's move on to 9.03, facilities update. Superintendent Denny, you have the floor.
Thank you again, Mr. Smith, and thank you, Dr. Martin, Dr. Ragland. For this agenda item board, you should have before you a facilities update, and to present this report, it will be Mr. Jeremy Day, Executive Director of Business Affairs.
Good evening, everybody. A couple things on the agenda here tonight. Last month when we met about facilities update, I was talking about the central office future parking lot, and it was still grass. A lot's happened in a month, to the point to where tomorrow they're going to be doing asphalt. So it really has all come together in about a month. So these pictures really don't do justice. A lot of these were just over a few days ago, honestly. These first couple of pictures, and then this was all the sidewalk on the entryways walking in. This is what you see today. Tomorrow they're going to have the pavement going down. So really it's happened pretty quickly. They have all the light poles up, all the posts up, so we're pretty much ready to go. We did have an add-on. We added on to just an electric run to go out to the eventual sign placard that's going out by the road. We did that right now. Didn't seem to be a reason to wait, let's say that. We were going to have to get them remobilized. That was just going to cost more money. So we went ahead and just did it now. We're not envisioning this being a video board out there. There's a video board about 150 feet away from it. The sign itself will look pretty similar, but it won't be a video board, if that makes sense there. Okay. So that should be here wrapping up here very soon, next couple weeks, honestly. One additional add-on that we did to it, we did purchase the roll testing of the environmental samples to this. It's something that was not in the initial bid for this. It's something that came up as just a fail-safe, a check just on the pavement. And I figured if we're spending we're spending dollars on this, we should make sure it's solid and it's good. So we went ahead and we opted for that as well. Baseball field renovation, we do need a variance to check for the height of the backstop. The city ordinances are at 25 feet. We want our backstop to be 35 feet, safety of the spectators, cars, stadium, people in the stadium. So we are wanting to do a 35-foot backstop. We have all the plans into the Planning Commission right now. I'll be meeting with them on September 9th to plead our case, so hopefully that'll go well. For that height. After that variance, hopefully it goes well there, we can then apply for the building permit. So far, all they've really been doing is groundwork, field work. They've cut in a lot of the planning for like the dugouts and things like that. But they haven't really been able to do any building yet. We don't have the permit yet. Okay, so but that comes after the variance. Past that, the stadium, there was one thing that we found on Friday night, which if you were at the game, the Jumbotron was not working. It was working the 3 games prior to, and it did not work that night. So we're on the phone right now with Nevco. Mr. Merrill was on the phone with them today. It seems to be that we need to actually get a technician out. It's not anything that they could tell remotely that was wrong in the settings or in the connections. So they think it may just be something in the board. So they're going to be coming out here in the next few days, I believe. I need to check with Mr. Merrill on that, on date and time frame. Your windscreen is coming. That should be up by the next game. That is coming here. It's being, it's through Express Graphics. It's being express delivered. So 2 different expresses. We paid for the rapid shipping. So that should be coming here soon. Past that, we should be all set, unless there's any other questions.
We were just talking, so the SHP didn't put a proof roll in their specifications?
Not into that, no. Not into the bid package, so.
Can we go back to them and say, you missed this in the spec, it should have been in there?
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely talk to them about that.
To put asphalt paving down and not have a proof roll is like.
Yeah.
you know,
And when it came up, it seemed to be a no-brainer to do it. The cost,
That's like
isn't
paint and drywall without
much.
primer.
yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
it's basic. That's something that's always done.
yeah. And me being newer to the role, it's something that I now can
That's
plan
part of an
for.
architectural
That was-
specification.
Yeah,
That should be in asphalt paving.
yeah.
Yeah, agreed. That's-
At least they should, if they won't pay for it, they should split it.
It wasn't, yeah, I mean, I can definitely reach back to them with that. The cost, with the cost of the project, it's very minimal.
It's not a significant
Very,
cost,
very
but
minimal.
it's basic to the specification for asphalt paving.
Yeah, yeah. Other questions?
I want to say thank you for the update on the baseball field renovation. I've had people ask me about that. I've had people ask me about the driveway in the back, so thank you for the update. So when they come to me and go, what are y'all doing? I can say, I know what we're doing, so here's what's happening.
Yeah.
And the baseball fields, I have community members say, I go up there, I'm so glad they're finally doing something, so thank you, thank you, thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
it's coming along. The scoreboard's coming along as well. They're ordering the material now, so it's coming along there.
exciting.
Yeah, so we're just waiting on material, and they can get started on that too, so.
Is the scoreboards are approved?
Yeah, the permits everything's ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah, we're really just waiting on material.
Yeah, because usually you wait for that approved before you build.
Yeah, and that did take a little bit of time. Took a little bit of time. As soon as we got it, though, they went ahead and they placed the order. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no problem.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Day.
All right, moving right along to 10.01, personnel schedule. Superintendent, then you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Smith, and thank you, Mr. Day, for the presentation. Board, you should have before you Schedules A, B, C, D, E, and M. And Board, the recommended action would be to approve the personnel schedules as presented.
Board, a motion is in order.
Mr. President, I'd like to move we approve the personnel schedules as presented.
Second.
I'll second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Just a question. When we revise a personnel schedule in the future, can they put an asterisk between the addition? You know, when you add somebody's name?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
So when someone's added to Schedule A, like I was trying to figure out who was added, and it would just been nice to have an asterisk that you go, oh, okay.
Oh, like when it's changed? you
Yeah,
mean?
when
When it's
there's,
updated,
Or
so know what the
highlighted or
update is.
something.
yeah, when it's put out originally and then like, I don't know, I was out of town for the weekend, so I got it today and it's like, oh, one of these is updated, wonder who it is. And it wasn't the one pager, it was like the 6-pager. So if we
Yeah.
could just put an asterisk.
So draw
you know,
attention to what it is.
Just to highlight
Sure.
the addition.
Yeah.
That's all I had.
Anybody else have any questions?
I do have a question. I asked Mr. Jenny before the meeting, so I'm sorry. I tried to catch you, but you weren't here yet.
He
so-
texted me, and I have your answer. But
Okay,
go ahead and ask your
perfect.
question.
So go-
In case the,
No problem. I just
Great.
had a question. There were a couple salaries that kind of stood out from others in my mind, and he said he thought he might know why, but yeah, I was asking why.
so I think you had a question about summer shoe. Is that right? About what the change was with the salary? There was a typo in June. So in June, we had him approved at step 6, 66,127, and it should have been step 6, 61,127. And so we caught this when I was doing the contracts and the salaries notice to the employee. It didn't match the spreadsheet, and we
Okay.
realized it was a typo. So that was that issue.
The
And then
correction one.
regarding Woosterman, I might be mispronouncing that last name, but it's
Wolterman.
Brittany.
Okay, yes.
You had a question about her step, and she's at step 10. And that's because she has over 15 years of prior teaching experience. Part of it was out of state. And our collective bargaining agreement allows us to go up to step 10 in most cases. And so every now and then, we're allowed to exceed it with permission from the superintendent for hard-to-fill positions. But in this case, 10 was appropriate. Were those the questions you had?
Okay, and she was coming in as an intervention specialist?
So she should be bachelor step 10.
Yeah,
Even
she's
though-
basically a veteran teacher we hired from another district, out of state, it sounds like.
Well, she was in another district, but she also had prior experience from out of state in Illinois in a neighboring district.
Okay. Yeah, those were the two questions I had. Yep, thank you.
Ms. Bryan, you have questions?
Thank you, Mr. Denny, for the heads up. I looked at my phone like, oh. So thank you.
Sorry, I was trying to catch you, but.
No, it's okay.
I didn't get a chance.
That's what I'm here for. Yeah. Anything else?
Seeing nothing else, thank you, Ms. Wilson. Mr. Seymour, can you call for the vote?
Mrs. Knighton?
Aye.
Mr. Spielman?
Aye.
Ms. Bryant?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye, that vote passes. Thank you, Board.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. Let's move on to 10.02, Hazelworth Property Line Settlement and Release Agreement. Superintendent Denny, you have the floor.
Thank you again, President Smith, and Ms. Wilson, thank you for the personnel schedule information. Board, you should have before you for agenda item 10.02, the Hazelworth Property Line Settlement and Release Agreement. Board, you may recall at a work session prior to this meeting, we had the opportunity to discuss this matter, and it was successfully resolved with the resident who had some questions around the property sale that the district is moving forward on at Hazelworth. And Board, you should have before you this property line settlement agreement. It does require board approval to be formalized, but it was signed off on by the resident. So the recommended action at this point would be to approve the Hazelworth property line settlement agreement and release as presented.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Hazelworth Property Line Settlement and Release Agreement as presented.
I second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Is there any discussion?
I would just say thank you to the resident for working with us and, yeah,
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed.
being a partner of the district.
Greatly appreciate it.
Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, let's call the vote.
Mrs. Knighton?
Aye.
Mr. Spielman?
Aye.
Ms. Bryant?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye, that vote passes. Thank you very much, Board. Next on the agenda is Board of Education reports. Number one, the legislative report is attached to your agenda, and if you can please review that at your leisure. Next on the agenda is 11.02, the Great Oaks report, and that was sent by our representative, former board member Jeff Birdie. So that is also attached. There's no highlights for the district, but Board, be aware that Mr. Birdie's time as our representative with the Oaks is coming to an end, and we will need to assign a replacement for that. So just be aware that I will be reaching out to you guys about that, and we'll probably be discussing that at our next work session.
Can we thank Mr. Birdie for all his work in this effort, even though he's not on our boards?
Yeah, definitely.
Amen.
Next is 12.01, changing the date for the November regular meeting. Board, as we discussed in our session, we'll need a motion to change the date of the November 17th, 2025 regular board meeting to November 10th, 2025 at the Winton Early Childhood Education Stage Room 184, 825 Waycross Road, Cincinnati, Ohio, 6:30 p.m. The reason for this change is it is a direct conflict with our Ohio School Board's Capital Conference. So that is the reason for that, and I need a motion in order.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion. We change the date of the November 17th, 2025 regular board meeting to November 10th, 2025 at Winton Early Childhood Central Campus, Stage Room 184, 825 Waycross Road, Cincinnati, Ohio, at 6:30 p.m.
Second.
It has been motioned and seconded. Ms. Knight will take that one. It has been motioned and seconded. Board, is there any discussion?
No.
Once again, thank you for being flexible on the change so we can all be in attendance for that. Mr. Seymour, can you call the vote?
Mrs. Knighton?
Aye.
Mr. Spielman?
Aye.
Ms. Bryant?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye. That vote passes. Thank you very much, Board. Let's move on to 12.02. resignation of a board member. Board, as you may know, our beloved Dr. Viola Johnson is resigning from the Board of Education. She sent us that letter and notification. You should have that letter in your mailbox, and a motion is in order to accept that resignation.
Mr. President, and I'll say this reluctantly, I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of Dr. Viola Johnson effective August 31st, 2025.
And I'll second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Is there any discussion?
I definitely just want to say, without Dr. Johnson and others like her and the service that she's provided for such a long time, there would not be a platform for myself to even be here today. So I just want to say thank you, Dr. Johnson, for all of her years of dedication and just to education, period. So I have a ton of respect and completely understand, resignation doesn't come easy for her, but I respect it. And I just want to say thank you for your dedication, unwavering, and to this district, to this community. And I humbly accept the challenge to walk in your shoes. So thank you for what you've done for us.
Board, anybody else? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, can you call the vote?
Mrs. Knighton?
Aye.
Mr. Spielman?
Aye.
Ms. Bryant?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye. That vote passes. Board, thank you very much. For those of you that don't know, Dr. Johnson has been on the board since January 1st of 2014. We would like to thank Dr. Johnson for over a decade of dedication and service to the Winton Woods Warrior family. As a lifelong resident of Forest Park, she has been a staple and advocate for education in this district. As an educator herself, she understood the need to create a place where our students could get a well-rounded education. She has been a part of many significant milestones in this district, including the adoption of project-based learning, the building of the North Campus and the South Campus, the renovation of the ECCC, and those accomplishments can go on forever and ever. So at this time, can everyone join me in a round of applause acknowledging all the hard work of now former board member Dr. Viola Johnson. And at a later date, we will have Dr. Johnson join us for a formal recognition. Let's move on to 12.03, resolution to declare board vacancy. At this time, board, you will see attached the resolution declaring Dr. Johnson's seats vacant. So I'll need a motion from a board, please.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the resolution to declare a board vacancy as presented.
I'll second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, can you call the vote?
Mrs. Knighton?
Aye.
Mr. Spielman?
Aye.
Ms. Bryant?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye. That vote passes unanimously. Thank you, board. Next on the agenda is comments from members of the board and the superintendent. We'll start with you, Mr. Seymour.
I would just like to thank Dr. Johnson for her years of service.
Yeah.
She started in 2014 and almost finished 3 full terms. And she was always so supportive of all the staff and always looked out for the kids first. So I would like to say thank you to her. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Seymour. Mr. Denny.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Smith. We're back, so just thrilled to be back in session, back in school. Talked to one of our principals and several teachers, and I've heard that it's one of the best openings we've had, so it's just exciting to see that. It's wonderful to see the Warriors back. Also want to make sure I do a shout out to our band, our dance team, our cheer squad, our girls varsity basketball team for appearing a week ago this past Saturday at the 37th Annual Midwest Black Family Reunion Parade, and they did a fantastic job. Our kids really just shone. They shined brightly. I'm biased, but I think we stole the show. But it's just such a great event and a great tradition, and it was an honor to be a part of it. So shout out to all of our kids and staff that participated in that. And then finally, I just want to pause and thank Dr. Johnson as well. I met her in 1999 when I taught her daughter Amora, and it's been a privilege ever since. Also someone who just shines. She bleeds blue and green. She's a warrior through and through, and she's just provided so much guidance and wisdom over the years, and her education as an educator as well, bringing that to the table and to the fore, and also just laughs, a lot of joy. And so we're going to miss her. We understand. We wish her well, and we're sure she won't be a stranger. We'll see her around. So thank you.
Mr. Spillman.
Thank you. I also would like to congratulate Dr. Johnson on almost 12 years of service. That's a big thank you from the community. I'd also like to welcome our exchange student from Japan and extend my congratulations to Mr. Amstutz on his awards and recognition tonight. And I have a dream for this year, for teachers, staff, parents, and students. If there's any bad attitudes which influence poor behavior, my hope is that they're uprooted and torn down. If there's any apathy or bad habits or tardiness, that's destroyed and overcome. But instead of that, there's a love of learning, an enduring commitment, positive attitudes, and thoughtfulness, kindness, and respect that's built and planted in our district. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Spillman. Ms. Bryant.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to say welcome to Mr. Akai and his host family, so thank you for being part of the Warrior Nation. A huge round of applause to Mr. Josh Armstead for being named the 2026 SBO4 District 4 Teacher of the Year, and also one of the 11 finalists for the State of Ohio Teacher of the Year. What an outstanding accomplishment. Thank you to Waycross Community Media for your dedication and continued partnership. We appreciate you. And a special thank you to former board member Jeff Birdie for your service to the Winton School District and Great Oaks, and your contributions have made a lasting impact. So thank you so much for those reports that are always timely, showcasing what the Oaks is doing, and especially our Warriors. I also want to share a deep appreciation for Dr. Viola Johnson in her years of service to Winton Woods City Schools. Like Mr. Denny said, she does bleed blue and green. Dr. Johnson, your wisdom, your guidance, and your commitment have been invaluable. Personally, I'm grateful for the knowledge that you shared with me as a new board member, for always leading with grace and strength. You will be truly missed. And finally, to our parents, welcome back to school. We couldn't do this important work without you. I know as Dr. Ragland and Dr. Martin were giving us data, the first thing I kept thinking is, where are the parents? We need you. This is a partnership. We need you to make sure your kids are arriving on time, ready to learn, ready to work, and ready to lead with integrity. So again, thank you, and thank you for giving me the honor to sit here to serve you and to be part of this wonderful school district.
Vice President Knighton.
I think I've said enough during this meeting and I've asked enough questions, but welcome back, Warriors. I'm looking forward to a great year.
Thank you. Thank you. Just to piggyback on all the wonderful things people have said, yes, welcome back. Thank you for all those who participated in the Warrior rallies. It was very exciting to see all the students, all the teachers and the parents and support staff that came out. We appreciate that. Once again, thank you to the staff, the students, and everybody who were at the Black Family Union Parade. I know myself and Ms. Bryan were there, and it was great to see the sea of blue and green, not just from our students, but from our parents, teachers, and our support staff. So we thank you for coming out as well. I was able to attend some of our sporting events. So Winton Woods Warriors were back, and sporting events are happening. So we encourage each and every one of you to make your way out to a sporting event, no matter what it is. I saw some volleyball, I saw some ladies soccer last week, so it's a lot going on here at Warrior Nation. I did miss the football game, but thank you, Superintendent Denny, for letting me know we came back with the W. I appreciate that.
Yes, I was there.
It was good.
Yes, but a victory nonetheless. But thank you, everyone. Thank you, Representative Moore, for joining us. We look forward for that baseball backstop being approved very soon. We know you're gonna make that happen. We appreciate that. Yes. But thank you for coming. We appreciate you representing the city of Forest Park. And that's all I have for now. Board, is there a need for an executive session? Seeing none, let's move on to 15.01. I will now call this meeting of the Winton City School Board of Education adjourned. Thank you to all in attendance, and thank you to Waycross Community Media for broadcasting this meeting.